Waters here, and I'm joined on stage by Sean McInnes and Matt Webster from Criterion Games. Matt, welcome to the stage.
Thank you for having me.
How are you enjoying the tire swing seats we've got up here?
You know, they're more comfortable than I thought it would be.
Yeah, they look kind of foreboding.
You know what, though? In the office, we actually have tires.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're just really good as, like, visitor seats. So you can roll them around and you can sit on top of them.
Give
just
you guys some
really big
inspiration
tires
if you know you need to feel the rubber of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Get in there and grip it. All right, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now, Need for Speed, you know, the phrase yearly installments generally carries a negative thing, but with the Need for Speed series, even though it's been a new Need for Speed for over a decade, it's still fresh, still new, because it changes up so often. Now, Most Wanted is a familiar name, but it's been a long time, and you guys are bringing something a whole new take on it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so 2010 was our first Need for Speed gig.
Yeah.
So, and we always said then that was our take on Hot Pursuit. And when it came back to what was next for us, we looked at the entire history, and it's a really rich history. But we just sort of aced down on one we really loved, and that was Most Wanted, because the premise is just an awesome setup. Become the Most Wanted. It's just really exciting.
And after you guys had such great success with the interplay between the police and the fugitives in Hot Pursuit, Most Wanted seems like a natural choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it couldn't be. It had to be our take on Most Wanted. Just like Hot Pursuit was our take on Hot Pursuit, this is our take on Most Wanted.
So set it up. What's your, for folks who are new to Most Wanted, what's the idea here? You're running from the cops? You are the Most Wanted.
Well, actually, the twist is, you race, chase, and explore to become most wanted amongst your friends. So, if people have followed our recent history, we're all about play with friends. Things are just better with friends, and so.
And Autolog is like
exactly
the ultimate tool for racing with friends.
Yeah, and that's why we built Autolog, because it's just. I don't know what my shooter rank is. It's like something like 9 million or something, but I know I can beat Hamish. And when I'm beating Hamish, things are really good.
That's all that counts, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Sean has lost many an hour to Autolog challenges.
Poor Hamish doesn't even have a microphone to defend his honor.
He knows it's true.
But he's waving a mean finger right now. But yeah, I've lost many hours to Autolog. I have also lost many hours to Burnout Paradise, which is why I became very excited when I found out this is an open world Need for Speed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that with this game, we're taking everything we know about racing games and open world games, and we're just smashing them together. And so people loved Autolog. We know, we have data like the more people play, the more friends they add. So we know that play with friends is really powerful. But Autolog in Hot Pursuit was just one event at a time. With Most Wanted, it's across the entire game. There's so much more for you to compete on, and tons and tons of variety. That's what we expect an open world game to have. So it's a really rich experience.
Cool. All right. Well, let's take a look at Need for Speed Most Wanted in action here.
Okay, so we have an awful lot. It's an open world, and they're really difficult to demonstrate. So what we've got here is Hamish is going to race and chase. You've got a speed wall there, so people are more familiar with that competition. And we have speed walls, but we're integrating them into the game. This is a real challenge from Alex, the creative director of Criterion. Said, do a race intro, but don't show the cars. So that's like the suicide race intro. So, this is Criterion, so there's going to be lots of takedowns. Hamish is here, and you can see him. He's driving a Porsche 991, 911, actually. And you can see just how amazing the cars look. We've just got some awesome lighting technology that's making the cars look sensational. And if you can see, he's racing a race. It's a checkpoint. This is an open world racing, and we don't want to lock. It's kind of against our nature to. If you're racing in an open world, to lock it down with barriers and chevrons like some people do, but we want to treat the player with respect. We know from our experience with open world, as you do, that your players really get to know the city, and so we guide people very loosely with these checkpoints, and then they can choose to use their knowledge of the open world to get ahead of
to circumvent and
so you see this is a race that's going on, but the cops are in this race as well. So Hamish is going off piste. There we go. And then our billboards, you'll be familiar with those. You can see these Visceral and BioWare billboards, and the idea there is to smash those things down and replace them with Criterion ones. That's part of our gameplay, that we have loads of discoverables around the world, and we know that distraction gameplay is really valuable. So Hamish goes and finishes the race, but now we blend into, so we do the speed wall compare, then everything you do earns you speed points, and that drives your most wanted level against your friends, and now we're blending into a pursuit. So, you know, Hamish has come out of the race, and he's got the cops on it, so he needs to shake them off somehow. So this is where the open world really comes into itself. So ducking down the back alley, you can really see how great the cars look down here. We love nice shiny cars, but the cars getting beaten up and scratched and dirty and muddy, and we think these cars look brilliant when they're a bit beat up.
Nice to see that, you know, you're not going through the environment unscaled with such adventurous driving, shall we say.
Whoa. Uh-oh. He's going to get busted. Nice. Look at that. He turns a bootlegger. He's in trouble. Is he going to get busted?
Oh, man,
he's going to
so
fight his way out of it.
You can do it, Hamish.
Oh, look at him. He's reversing. Take that loot.
Come on, Hamish.
Oh, it's close. He's fighting. Look at him. He's wriggling.
He's right in this. I cannot believe he's lasted this long. I think they got him.
No, I think he's got his extra special skills.
This is the part where the police start shooting at you, I think.
He's out. Okay, let's throw a bootlegger, Hamish. Nice, check that out. That's a really important part of the handling. So the people know Criterion for being able to throw the cars around and drift these cars around. But in an open world, we had to go back to the drawing board with some of our handling. So we kept the Criterion DNA of get the back end of the car out and throw it around, but also be able to make very fast direction changes. Here you can see the car's getting beaten up, getting dirty. He's certainly doing a good job of getting a bit of a kicking from the cops.
Showing that off to us.
Yeah, so
we're grateful.
I think you need a bit of a special finish, Hamish. How are you gonna bust your way out of this one? And now he's probably got about 20 cops. Yeah, he's got loads of cops on him. A big jump on the freeway, a nice flourish. That'll do us. Yeah, there we go. Good job.
Well done.
Right into the logo. How convenient.
Oh, it was done.
Before we wrap up here, we got one question coming in from Dulski. Too many consonants, buddy.
Yeah.
Split screen play? That's one of the most popular questions. A lot of people just love to sit down on the couch, play with their friends. Is it in Most Wanted?
It's not. We with an open world game, and the way that we push the technology, it's there's too many compromises that you have to make to be able to render that screen twice. So and actually from our experiences, when you go to network games, when you have something like Autolog which allows players to compete synchronously and asynchronously, we think it's just much better to just have that whole screen dedicated to making the game look awesome.
And no shortage of ways to compete against your friends, obviously, in most.
Well, no, and the great thing about so we'll compete on jumps and your speed through speed cameras. So if you've got a bunch of friends on your friends list who are really good at racing, there are other ways that you can compete against them to be top on your most wanted list. So it's I have there's a guy in the office called the Professor, we call him, and he's just in hot pursuit. We just cut him straight from my friends list, right? Because he's just schooling us.
He's just
so now we've got competition across lots of different types of gameplay, and our multiplayer experience is amazing.
Very cool. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about it as the release of Most Wanted approaches, which is when?
It's at the end of October.
End of October. Man, that's not too long, not too far away now. All right, Matt, thank you so much for coming on and showing off Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Thank you for having us.
Looking very slick. Folks, we are coming up next with more demos shortly. But first, it's Carlos Rodella getting his sing-on in the Nintendo booth.